Welcome back to Workers and Resources. We are back in our Republic and taking stock of how it's going to look like when we reach the end. Hello Molly. I think this will be the last episode for this series. I think we achieved quite a bit. We'll see what we can do. I do wonder if I should try and switch this over to the new version and see what happens. But I think it's fine. So last time we left off with realizing that our chemical production might be insufficient, so we added another chemical plant to the mix, pun intended. And we're trying to bring more workers to the factories, which hopefully works. So we'll see if we produce enough chemicals. Thank you for the warning. And I mean, we can now start chasing everything, but yeah, I think not producing enough chemicals as the only thing is probably fine for me. I don't need to be fully self-sufficient. Excluding, of course, oil, which is the sole reason we are so rich. Trying to match our oil demand would be kind of ridiculous. How are you doing, Molly? I hope you're having a good start to your weekend. So chemical production seems to be working fine, and we're trying to match our electronics production towards our demand. That's something that I would like to achieve. That is the one thing that Sekoe, our electronics factory, which we built, probably should try and match. And it was basically stuck because of not enough chemicals. Chemicals were missing for plastics, chemicals were missing for electronic components. Chemicals was almost running out for the water supply. There's always something. So yeah, if we can satisfy our demand in electronics, that would be pretty good. We are producing only 2 tons per day. That means 730-ish per year maximum. And we do have to bring some electronics to our shopping centers before people get too cranky. $730 electronic components last year, our demand. Last year was only 245, so we should be able to match that. We should be able to produce enough. If we provide the workforce here. That is the thing that needs to happen. We need more buildings, it looks like. And we need more study opportunities. These ones do not need highly educated workers, but we do need to make sure that we don't run out of university educated folk. I must be preparing my presentation for exam. How are you? What have you planned? This is going to be most likely the last episode for this run, which wasn't really a run, it was just me checking out if a steel mill as a start works, and it kinda does. And it ran very long. But yeah, my goal is, I guess, making sure that we produce enough electronics. I don't really have another plan. I don't want to go chase all the resources. Oil is definitely off the agenda, and chemicals, I don't know. Chemicals will grow up because of the electronics consumption, and that will just go back and forth with other resource demands. So yeah, I guess the goal right now is to increase the amount of residents in this area. Build a new residential block over here and have some more people living in this location. And that shouldn't be too difficult. I must say that trying out the new version, the upcoming version, has me really excited, and I kinda want to keep going in that one. It is still a lot of new things, figuring out how stuff works, but it will definitely be a new experience how to run things, how to succeed. I don't know if you've seen the new version. I have streamed it a little bit, and it has a lot of things to think about now. You can't just pump out more and more infrastructure without worry. You have to consider that it will cost you as you have it. Like, it will not be a thing that you place down and it keeps on running and endlessly making you money. At some point it's gonna come back and say, I need maintenance. So yeah, I think we're just trying to go and see if we can increase our population count in this area to pump up production a little bit and see if that is sufficient in matching our demand. There will be people moving in here quite quickly, because we always have residents waiting to move into new facilities. 320 workers without their own flat. So we'll see. We'll see if we can match full capacity production in this area, if that is possible. Looks like the kindergarten is not sufficient in this area, so we will have to add another one. Yeah. Well, once this series is over, or on hold or whatever, I think it's gonna be over. Like, okay, once the series is over, I'm gonna go back to the other game and continue that one. And it might even be later after this stream. Like, I am so ready to keep going with the other one, but I didn't want to leave this hanging. This is, I think, the most beautiful town that I have built so far, if I remember, because it doesn't look so square. There are some things that I would like to build differently if I ever build such a larger town again. But these housing blocks, for example, I really like. This housing arrangement, while not ideal, with the community area in the middle, I really like. This looks a bit weird because the houses are, I think, too far apart, but it looks okay. I think this is good spacing between the houses and the height of them. And of course the metro. The metro makes it all interesting. Looks like a single street in Chicago or something. So yeah, I wanted to give some closure, but I'm also excited to move on onto new waters. And in the new run, basing my economy on tourism is also a new experience for me. I dabbled in tourism, it was interesting, but I never really tried to make it go full bore. And that's what we're going to try. I was tempted to try and load this into the new version with maintenance and garbage and everything enabled and see how long it takes to fall apart, because there would be no garbage disposal. And the steel mill and oil refinery would probably be full in less than a day and then create massive amounts of pollution. But yeah, also the addition of all the new other buildings, really appreciated a lot. Now it makes me realize what people have been up to with workshop items. They had everything ready to deal with any issue, and just, rather than try to work around things, they've just said, we need a new building, give me the new building. Done. We need a smaller / larger kindergarten. Give me the building. Done. It has been there all along. We're lacking mechanical components. That's new. And they are not on their way. No, we still have enough in the warehouse, never mind. Has the start been harder with the new stuff? It was different. I tried to keep it to the minimum. Except for the heating plant, I placed a large one. But the new buildings, the smaller versions of the buildings, make it easier to get something started with still having money left. But we are like at 30,000 rubles now. But I think money is now increasing, thanks to tourism. It hasn't felt harder, it just felt like you needed to understand and get used to the new content. The question is how it scales, like how will waste management scale? Because I don't think there's much larger trucks available, so if you start producing huge amounts of waste, then there is a chance that your trucks can get overwhelmed. And maybe for certain buildings you need to use trains? I don't know. Could make sense. So the start wasn't harder, just different. It was harder in the sense that you had a few more buildings to build. But now that we're getting to 1,000 population, it's definitely noticeable that it's a bit more difficult planning-wise. Like, building these buildings with an area in between actually will be a benefit to you, instead of trying to just line them up in a row. Because that will give you room to place down garbage collection and other facilities that you might need. If you place them all in a row, then they could create a lot of garbage in a very condensed area. But it might still work. I mean, all testing and everything. It's all to be tested. So many students. Oh, we're lacking plastic. Oh man. So what you're telling me is that the forklifts can't keep up with the increased production demand. And we should probably use distribution offices for this as well. Yeah, the forklifts don't seem to be keeping up with things. I thought with the lower amounts per day it might work, but if it gets over a ton or 2 tons per day, it seems like they're struggling. I don't know. We can have our trucks help, I guess. Can't design more buildings. Lots of plastic, electronics. What can we unassign? We did build a gas station, didn't we? Oh yeah, all the way over there, never mind. I guess we'll have to make another distribution office if we want this to be truck-based. And have trucks help the distribution of resources into the production facilities. Otherwise we might run dry on components. This is a very long forklift route, I guess. Okay, let's add another distribution office. Well, electronics are being shipped out and used, so at least it's working. Once the university goes through most of the students, we might be able to reduce that a little bit again and have some more workers available. Also, when the students are successfully put through education, they will also be ready to join the workforce, I guess. %10 pollution. Ooh. So these buildings have everything, even electricity, but I will still have to provide some electricity here, I think. Alright, the bridge is always a problem. I'm not sure why, but it is. So yeah, I think the update will catch a lot of people off guard with how things will be running, but I think it's to the benefit of the game. And it will be really, really interesting with what people have to come up with. Because large republics are not going to be that easy anymore, which is maybe weird to say since it's not an easy game. But there are a few things that if you figure them out make the game easy-ish and a little bit repetitive. And I think if those strategies require you to actually have people to maintain these strategies, then they become a more complex system and also interesting. Like, I think doing an oil start will be interesting and rewarding, because you need a population to maintain those oil fields. So you need some residents within 3 kilometers, so you have a construction office that can maintain the buildings. I guess they technically don't need to be within 3 kilometers, but they need to be picked up by a construction office bus and might have to repair the building every 10 or 20 years-ish. Also, I test loaded this into the new version, into the beta build, and I think I had like 10 FPS more, if not even more. It ran much more smoothly. Performance seems to have been optimized. Which was greatly appreciated. Nuclear fuel check. Nuclear fuel is fine. No problems there. Meat production is fine. So all meat storage in the general warehouse area should be filled. Yes. Oh, 2 train cars are only enough for 34 tons? I thought they could hold more. Maybe the forklifts can keep up. Maybe it was just the resource availability since the forklifts are mostly idle. Maybe we just were running out of plastic and the warehouse solution is not that great. Let's set up here. We are waiting for more mechanical components and I don't see them incoming. Let's take a look at where they are being produced, or at least where they are being shipped from first. We do have some available. Now we have to check how they get there. I think they are going through the general warehouses first. And there are mechanical components in there too. And the distribution is handled by you towards Sequoia, I think it was. Did we not set up delivery to Sequoia yet? No, we did. But it's called Electronics Factory. And you need to unload mechanical components in there. Thank you. That was the mistake. And now we have a train on its way. Picking it up from Partibus, I guess. You can also pick up from here if you want. The general warehouses. Load... yeah, you can load anything from here if you want. But I guess it makes sense to load from Partibus, otherwise it creates another route where another train has to pick up stuff from Partibus and fill the warehouse again. So it's fine. 2 tons of mechanical components left. They're being used. Are they being used here? Yeah, okay, we still are full here. We're very short on workers. We need to make sure that they do not walk onto these construction sites right now. Otherwise all the workers are just gonna go and do nothing for a bit. And assign these for construction. Also this one. The kindergarten. Still have kindergartens in here that need to be connected. Okay, that should get us started on the way of increasing our workforce in this area. Okay, the workers are back. Now all the forklifts are busy again, since we're working. All but one. I should let them do everything. All of the forklifts do everything. They should balance themselves out. Like if this forklift is not busy, then it should help with the other things. Just do everything. Balance everything. I want to see if that works. Maybe they can figure out the distances and everything a little bit more easily. If they all share the same load, maybe they're smart enough to pick whatever is best. Still have room to add maybe one more forklift garage. Could add one over here without problem, I guess. Future-proof the area a little bit for getting more workers by adding 33% more forklifts. And yeah, expanding our electronics production a bit. Looks like we've sent most of the students through education. Can slowly roll back the amount of highly educated workers in the university here. We have produced 115 tons of electronics this year. We did have a period in the middle, at the bottom, where there was a slump where no production happened. But I think it's getting better. Sure, I think I forgot the signals there. Okay, you're gonna make that route. The other one is not assigned right now, so might as well put the signals in. Oh, we can't get there. Right. There you go. Thought that should be enough. We had trains already go here. What's the issue? Oh, I probably had them go here once and then I changed all the signals. And now they can't get here anymore. Let's get the construction train. Can catch it. Wait. It's not that fast. Is it? I guess it is. Oh no, I sent it home, right. I forgot. Finish that one up, and then the construction icons here will also go away. Yeah, the new version will definitely encourage you to set up construction offices way more regularly, because all of these buildings will have to be maintained in some time. I guess you could probably use far away ones, but then it wouldn't be automated. The amount of buildings that I've planned is way overkill for this area. I hope the shopping center can keep up with what I have planned, but I think it should. I do need to make sure that the people can walk to the shopping center though. Can I put the rare construction office into the general construction office shortcut? No, you can't. I haven't tried it yet in the new version, but in this version it doesn't work. It says it does not fit in here, unfortunately. I think that someone wrote that in Discord as a suggestion to make that happen, and I agree. A building list shortcut group would be really nice. If you have like a central storage area, or if you have buildings that are of critical importance like the power plant, putting them in a grouping like construction offices, but like important buildings that you want to check, it would be quite neat. I already missed the walking distance preview. I think these buildings might be outside of range. Yep, they will be outside of range, so they will have to go to the bus stop and be picked up. Not gonna make another shopping center, I don't think. I'm wondering what challenge I should do. If it should be a challenge or if it should just be a normal run. I mean, technically I'm doing tourism, I guess, right now as a challenge. But not exclusively, I'm not limiting myself. So I don't know. I was thinking of maybe I'm only allowed to export finished goods, not raw resources. And I'm not allowed to import raw resources. So I can basically only export what I make myself from scratch. But I have to make it into a finished good. But then I guess you could just say, okay, I'm making crops and exporting food. And that would probably work. But who knows. Oh, free construction office, right. Yeah, that looks better. No more messages about constructions that are still missing. That's fine. Everything is present, but electronics. Even chemicals were present. And I don't think we're importing them anymore. It might still be set to import. We still have to switch this distribution office. Yeah, we're importing chemicals. What's my impression about the research system? I like it. It also is basically a system to guide you through. You need population before you can do any of the really high density money making industries. The research tree is well laid out in the concept, but the graphics is over the tutorial system, and I'm used to more modern layouts, I guess. Something that is taking up the whole screen and that you can scroll sideways. This is something that is a little bit old school feeling. Also, there's a lot of researchers in there that don't do anything. They basically split up the research of a thing into multiple researches, so if you cancel one research because you have to switch over, you don't lose everything. You just lose the research of the progress of the current research. I think you lose your progress. I haven't tried canceling and then restarting one. I guess we don't need the distribution office. I'm going for one extra forklift garage. We'll see if it works. plastics factory is way more busy than previously. I thought I built a pollution monitoring station, but I don't remember. But there's an overlay where I can check, I guess. I don't think I have a pollution monitoring station here. The average lifespan is 81 years. Everything is fine over here. There's a lot of potential for modding to add a lot of things with the research system, depending on how flexible the modding system is. Like imagine the 1900s starts, adding researchers that lock everything behind research, and then you slowly go through everything to develop your industry and your society. Okay, let's let some people in here to work. And also here. Since we have the resources partially delivered that we need for building these buildings. And then they can fill up with more people to work here. I think the forklifts, I just thought about it, I think the forklifts may be improved if they can organize themselves a little better. I think right now they're only doing 50% of the work that they could be doing. But maybe that's also because of how I planned all of this. Like they could take chemicals from here, deliver them, and then deliver a good bag that needs chemicals, but the building that takes chemicals only has electronic components that need to go into a different factory. So basically I need to take chemicals, bring them here, pick up electronics, bring them here, pick up all the components, bring them here, and take electronics and bring them back to the warehouse. So they never run around empty. I think that would make them very efficient if you could set that up somehow. But they are running automated. Oh, that one just turned around, so I guess it's not wasting that much time. If they figure out something needs to be done, I guess. I wonder if there's larger forklift garages. I haven't checked. I don't think there are. But maybe. Okay. Lots of more people living in this area right now. So the research system is going to be, I think the least controversial system of the update. Like when you think back about the release of the water system, some people were really disliking it. And I was also really confused at the start, but the research system is probably going to be the most familiar as long as you know where to look for the research tree. So you can check in advance what you need to get the research. I'm not sure if waste or maintenance is going to be more controversial, or demolition. I think demolition is going to be the least controversial because it works like the construction offices in reverse. I think people will probably have the most problem with waste. Because maintenance doesn't kick in very fast. It takes a few years. 5 years for vehicles maybe. I haven't even gotten to that point yet where it becomes a regular occurrence. And buildings 15-ish years, 10 to 15. And then it usually happens automatically in the background where a building creates a construction task in itself and it just uses up a few resources and some workers to build itself back up while the building continues working. Research tree and it holds up extremely in my opinion. Country grow very slow. I think it's just the start that's slow. Like I think it's something that grows exponentially. Once you have a university up, you start with research and it feels slow. But then you build a medical university and then you build a technical university and you're doing 3 researches in parallel. The question is what is good to start with. Like I think I didn't need to build the palace, the communist headquarters at first. But I did build it because I wanted university education in my area and it was the only one that had a small university option. I think for my system maybe the medical university would have been best. But I also want to run tourism and recycling as my main systems, I guess, to try them out. Not so much tourism to see if it's viable for money making early on, but mainly recycling to see if, I guess something is, we can cheese it a little bit maybe. Always looking for cheese. So yeah, I think the research is the same as like in industry. It feels slow and you're not making money and nothing's happening, and then 10 years later everything is booming. Or everything has fallen apart, depending on what you chose to do. I hope that the researchers will give enough choice and that they don't have like fixed routes through them. The locking behind the distribution office is probably gonna make it so that if you're going for industry, you'll probably want a communist headquarters right away so you can get the distribution offices set up and start with some basic facilities. Or you just bypass that and use like large volume industries where you set up your routes yourself anyway. But you still kinda need distribution offices if you want to handle shopping in an automated way. I don't like setting that up with transport routes. But it still works. You can bypass distribution offices in lieu of forklift garages. And then you have 2 warehouses into a forklift garage into the shopping center, and you can have dedicated routes to the warehouses, I guess. Plus the new warehouses have dedicated parking spaces so they don't block snowplows and or police if you only use 1 truck. And construction is slow. So, you can reach the shopping center very well. We can reach all but one building with the shopping center, but they still need to take the bus to go to, I don't know, the school. We only reach 3 of the new buildings, not all of them. Plastics is missing. This area needs way more resources. Let's see. I need 6 tons of plastics per day. Steel doesn't matter because steel has its own storage. Plastics, chemicals, and I guess electronic components I don't need that much in storage. They are just there for export, really. So I need way more plastics than chemicals. So I should adjust the storage accordingly and store more plastic. It's 1, 1, and 3, I guess. So we have more plastics here. I hope the storage is enough to make chemical deliveries still, but yeah, having more plastics on site is probably a good idea. So maybe we need to tell the trains to make deliveries a little bit less frequent so they run larger loads here. %40. I guess the warehouse is up. No, let's do it all at 40%. Yeah, let's do all at 40%. Should create larger trains, running more resources at the same time. They're still going to try and fill it up as much as possible. They're not trying to keep it to 40%, but they will send a delivery once it drops below 40%. Buildings have already filled up and we're getting 21-year-olds without their own flat again. Maybe 1 kindergarten is enough for all of this, but I will build 2. Looks like they can build this up now. I hope I built that in range of things. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think we're making enough electronics now to satiate our local demand. And by local I mean the demand of our nation. It is January now, so this year will showcase us how much electronics we actually produce throughout the year. If I check last year and we check electronics, where are they? Oh, here. We did increase our production near the end, so maybe it's gonna run better now, but we have to wait and see. For 2 years or so, I built a town and 3 plateaus that looked amazing. Every requirement had their own train stop, sport, culture, shopping. Oh, you had a... Okay, yeah. So the same as with the metro system, where we have one metro running clockwise and one counterclockwise, but then you had stops specific for whatever they need to do there. We have one stop here that's mostly culture, but it also still has some residential. So I guess I haven't zoned it down to every stop is specific to doing one thing. It's still mostly mixed. Every stop its own requirement. That sounds like a challenge. Oh, the culture buildings are running full. Must be winter when the... Oh, must be winter when the Ferris wheel doesn't work. Okay, we still have enough crops, that's fine. It is going down though. Run out of plastic, and more plastic has arrived. Okay. I think you will have a lot more buildings in the new version, a lot more construction offices spread around. And they will keep everything running if you set them up correctly. Going around and manually assigning reconstructions sounds like a pain, so I guess they want you to set up your nation so you have everything affecting everything. I don't even remember if a construction office can also require maintenance. I don't think I looked at that. This is all being run by a small heating plant. Which seems to be able to keep up. Sewage tank overfilled. Oh yeah, we're all doing everything here by trucks. I do have a technical service. 2 water trucks. I guess our sewage trucks are a bit busy. That might mean that our water is also insufficient for the area. So they are having problems. So either I can set up running water or I can do the lazy way and give them another technical service that brings water here. And the lazy way sounds perfect. Yeah, the industry buildings are consuming water too quickly. So another technical service will definitely help with that. We did lose some population. I thought we were already over 24,000. Yeah, that's pretty much. I think we're at. I think we might be producing enough electronics now, since I don't see any warnings about it anymore. If I check around the towns, I guess we can see how many electronics we have. That one is filled. Sakoy itself should have electronics, I mean it's producing it. The main thing would be part of this warehouses. There are no electronics here yet, but that might be due to them being shuffled into these warehouses first. And before those run full, that will be a while. But they do have electronics that they're selling now, so that wasn't the case. And now we are back. $30 sellers for 210 shoppers. That's like a ratio of 1 to 7. If these had really low productivity, it could go down to 1 seller can take care of maybe 1.5 shoppers. So loyalty and productivity is really, really important. And if something goes bad and people get unhappy, that can snowball so much. Kindergarten is up. One should be enough for this area, but I'll build 2. New forklift garage has been built. We are just gonna blatantly assign all the buildings, and the forklift garages will figure things out. It's fine. And also don't forget the steel. And the fuel. Need to make sure the forklift garages have fuel. Like, the industries for vehicles and other things will become much more important in the new version. If you want to replace your vehicles without paying for new vehicles. You like the Neatbed water system, but I wanted more distribution connection. Yeah. Water itself you can split up and merge, but sewage it just combines and combines and combines and then it goes into the outflow. You can't split sewage up, if I remember correctly, but water you can split and merge, thanks to the water tower. It has 2 inputs and 2 outputs, so that's like a water switch that has 2 inputs and outputs. Same as the underwater. They might be living a bit close to the industries. Their life expectancy is not that great over here. But that's fine. They have better flats, I guess. Pollution is pretty bad. And I don't think I built a pollution oh, I built one. I built a pollution monitoring station. Yeah, they are pretty close to the epicenter of the pollution. And now that we have more people living here, they will also generate more pollution. So we will have less 21-year-olds without their own flat, I guess. You can have a few areas that are polluting, it's fine. As long as you have a few that are outside of pollution and always generate a lot more people than you need. Some polluting areas are fine. Forklifts should be arriving here sometime this year. They are very slow and they're coming from the eastern border, so that will take some time to get here. Okay, another residential building. And also that one. Oh, they need to grow into that first. And that will increase the population here even more. But we are prepared. It should be fine. I don't even have the capacity to assign more pubs because the distribution office is full. Oh well. Yeah, a few more forklifts will help. Can't store electronic components. That might sound bad, but that is what we need. Because that means we have so many electronic components that these industries will slowly start slowing down. Unless we need some for construction, then they will get shipped out and we have some more available. But yeah, our production of electronics is now very good because all the forklifts can focus on that. And it should be enough. Just needs to go a certain number before we always can call on a train and do a delivery to the city. But I think we have enough now. March is starting. Last year our demand was 185. production was 152. This year we are already at 53 in slightly over 2 months. So I think if we can produce 300 electronics, we'll be fine. It is running at the cost of importing chemicals, but that's fine. As long as it's only chemicals and oil, we can be happy with fully automating everything else. Some electronics missing. They might be coming here by train. Not yet. Now, with our tourism setup, I also need to use some trains. Send people on a train ride to somewhere, I guess. I wonder if you could make a train ride that just sends them around and they pay you money for being transported around. Plastics production should be able to keep up. The train network will make the occasional deliveries of plastics. And if we don't have too many slowdowns, everything should be fine. Meanwhile, the new forklifts have arrived and started working. So that should be enough to keep everything running. Yeah, maybe connecting two of these together to not have to transport the electronic components would have cut down on the usage of forklifts a little bit. But I didn't think that one would be the main problem. However, it is 2 tons per day, so it is some amount of resources. And the long travel distance to the factory back here is also not ideal. But I thought the extra forklift garage over there would deal with that. Looks like it is too long though. I wonder if you could add electronic forklifts to this. Where they have a battery and they go back to the forklift garage to recharge. This is running at almost full capacity now. It's gonna make a lot of pollution. Very, very bad pollution over here. These residential buildings are not gonna be happy. But we will have enough electronics. So it's fine. I think this will conclude our run of not a series, which wasn't a series technically, but it devolved into one. We spent a lot of time on this map, getting used to water-based transportation routes, the in and outs, set up a transport network with a second town right on the other side of the map, which was maybe not that well planned out, but it did work. And that caused our nuclear power production to run self-sufficiently as well. And then we set up one production facility for all of the resources except oil. Because ships are really, really good at bringing oil into your nation. And yeah, I think this is a success. We're going to call it here. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon, maybe in the next series that I will do. As I said, right now I'm taking a look at the new update. We're checking out tourism, maintenance, waste management and recycling. And I want to focus on tourism, recycling and waste management. I wish you all a good start to your weekend. Hope you have a good time. Hope you enjoyed the series, as I said. And as always, maybe I'll see you next time.